Paul Wagenseal with Cyber Risk Alliance, and here I am with John Steenkamp, who is from Discovery, a big health system in South Africa and with branches all over the world. You're a security specialist with them. What are you doing here at the HIP conference?
So, me and my colleague has been over here to just get the feel of the land, if I can say it like that, in regards to where identity security is going. What are the major issues that our peers are facing, and how to have a common solution to the problem that we all face.
And what is that common solution, a common problem?
The common problem, I would say, is how do you protect your identity? How do you trust that the person is who they say they are? And how do you secure the access at the end of the day? When a login occurs, it's normally a specific scenario where that computer and that identity is coming from. And how do you track that through the whole process in regards to that logins or that authentication cycle, if I can call it like that? Because what you normally see in regards to identity theft is that the login might be valid, but yet a token is stolen in the middle, and that is then used later on.
Sure. Yeah. So a session token. That to me is a really interesting problem, because the theft of a session token from a browser is still a very easy thing to do, and we're only now coming up with ways to counter it. But I'm going off a little off tangent here. How do you think identity relates to cybersecurity as a whole?
I think identity is becoming actually one of the big players in regards to the fact that you need to protect your identity. It's becoming how can I say this? One used to believe that your outer perimeter, your firewalls, your VPNs, that stuff is where you stop attackers.
Yeah.
With the modern way of working, that has moved totally inside. Your identity at the end of the day is your perimeter. At the moment. There's no way around that.
Yeah, especially a zero trust environment. It's sort of the beginning and the end of all things. And I mean, do you think that the cybersecurity industry is starting to realize that how central identity is, or is there still some catch up that needs to be made?
No, I'm pretty sure there are some catch up. I think there's been quite a few attacks and scenarios that you're actually starting to see business realizing the importance of identity and the protection of identity.
But if you had your way, what would be the ideal way that you would protect identity in your organization?
So you don't make it easy at all. I would say, and it's difficult to do that. You'll have to actually have a one-to-one relationship, an identity to a belly button. All the other workloads that you have in your environment get seen as auxiliary, if I can say it like that, but it still needs to tie into a person, a human being. The fact that we try and disassociate the human from the identity, I think that's where we make a lot of mistakes. Because as soon as you do that, you can't really track it. You can't really trace it. You can't. There's no contact or context. That's something that I think that really needs to happen. Is that you cannot disassociate the user from the identity.
Right.
At all.
You can't. And I thought I just saw a keynote just now, or a speech, where it was you guys saw something very interesting. It's like for every machine identity has to be assigned to a human.
Yes.
Which seems so obvious, and yet you know, it had to be pointed out to me.
No, exactly. And the thing is that there's a few things that you actually gain from it if you do it like that.
Sure.
Especially when you start doing threat hunting and you're in the thick of things, when stuff goes bad, is who do I talk to if I see this identity?
Exactly.
Because you cannot know every 20,000 objects that you have outside in your directory, and even larger in some companies. If something is happening there, who do I talk to?
Yeah.
I can have a context from a business perspective and from a AD perspective on what this account normally does.
Right.
But if I can't speak to someone on the phone and say, we've seen this, we have disabled it, but is this correct or not?
Right.
We miss that human interaction sometimes when it comes to tracing identities and tracing events. You cannot be expected to know everything. And if you don't tie it to a user, you'll never actually know. And I think that's where a lot of companies are struggling. That's something that we're definitely looking at, is the identification of accounts, their function, where they're allowed to log in and where they're allowed to log in from.
Right.
If you have all that covered, then you go.
Yeah. That's most of the territory right there.
Exactly.
Okay. Terrific. That's all the questions I have. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Paul Wagenson for Cyber Risk Alliance, and this is John Steenkamp from Discovery, South Africa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.